on a subway in New York City about 6 years ago, and I saw a young woman reading a book with up to her face like this. And I thought, if anyone's reading like that, it must be good. So I bought the book immediately and read it, just because I wanted to know what it was about. And I fell in love with it just as a fan. And then I thought, this needs to be a television show, and I want to be the one that makes it. And then Meredith and I met and really hit it off.
Gemma was looking for someone to run the show with her, and I read her extraordinary pilot. I thought it was so brilliant. We met. I thought she was so brilliant. I read the book, and it was just, incredibly fun and sharp. And
we were both obsessed as teenagers with the story of the real Lady Jane Grey, which is something that a lot of young women are. There was a movie in the 80s with Helena Bonham Carter and Carrie Elwes called Lady Jane. And then there's a painting by Della Roche of Jane Grey being beheaded. It's not from the time period. And I had it on my wall. So we both were very obsessed with Jane Grey's tragic story. And we also have a penchant for 1980s and 1990s action-adventure history movies, like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and The Princess Bride, and Lady Hawk.
Mm-hmm. And then a little bit later, A Knight's Tale.
Mm-hmm.
And we also love the humor of Blackadder, and we wanted to bring all of these elements to the show. But for us, it was also an opportunity to right a wrong of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Jane Grey, even though we were obsessed with her when we were teenagers as a tragic figure, because when you're that age, you love tragic figures. And then when you look back at that, you think, oh wow, this woman was really, really poorly served by her life. She was incredibly well educated, but still used as a pawn by her family. And then when she was queen, she was only queen for 9 days, and then she was tragically beheaded. And so we wanted to give her a swashbuckling, romantic, action-adventure story that she never got to have in real life, with a little bit of fantasy thrown in for good measure.
The main challenge, honestly, was filming in England
because
of the weather. So we had some adventures filming outside in the rain at night with crazy wind.
We were lucky enough to be able to shoot at Dover Castle, which is on the coast, and it's just an extraordinarily beautiful place. It's very, very cool, and everyone should go there. Having said that, it's tricky to shoot there in November at night when there are gale force winds, or bigger winds than gale force winds.
Yes.
We were shut down. We couldn't shoot there because it was unsafe. But luckily for us, we had an incredible production designer called Will Hughes Jones, and he mapped every inch of that castle, and then we painstakingly rebuilt it on the soundstage at Pinewood. And about 3 months later, finished shooting the set piece, which is the big finale of the whole show.
We had so much fun because we were very fortunate to have 5 female executive producers, which is unusual. So it was Meredith and me, Jamie Babbitt, who's our incredible producing director, Laurie MacDonald, who is an absolute legend, and Sarah Bradshaw, who is very well known in English film and television. So the 5 of us together, we're all mothers. We just worked really well, and it was an incredibly female-friendly production all the way through.
And we were surrounded by an incredible team.
Of majority women.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. So the book has an incredibly charming and strong tone of voice that is, the heart of the show is the tone of the book. And the book is first-person present tense from each of the main 3 characters, Jane, Guilford, and Edward. So what we wanted to do with the show was kind of bring the voice of the book in with this extra character, who we call the author. And he's the narrator. And our idea is that he is this bitchy professor type, maybe also a god, who can ground the more fantasy elements, make fun of the characters, and kind of just invite the audience into his point of view, which is come and have some fun with the show. These people are insane, and it's great.
we think we have such a unique tone. The show is a blend of so many things.
So we are history, but also fantasy, romance,
we're drama,
action, adventure. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, but at the heart of it, it's a story about a young woman coming into her power, grappling with power, and that's the heart and soul of the show. But outside of that, we're able to do a lot of very funny, interesting, hopefully surprising things.
I mean, we think that there are lots of shows that do everything perfectly. Wolf of Wolf Hall is it's a perfect period show.
We announce ourselves pretty early on as an alt history show.
Yeah.
That is never really trying to recreate history.
No.
That story is out there if people want to see it faithfully adapted.
There are lots of them.
Yeah, there are lots of them.
Our show is for people who love The Princess Bride or Lady Hawk or Shakespeare in Love. I would say give us one episode to charm you, and we promise you'll fall in love. Okay.